out on the topic of having it all. I feel like women have been discussing this forever.
For years.
So during a recent Mark Maron podcast, Sarah was asked about having children, and she said, "I love kids. I ache for kids, but I love my life more."
What's that mean?
You can't have it all. You really can't. So, Lonnie, as our satisfied single mamacita, what do you think with Sarah speaking, a harsh truth that she believes, can someone actually have it all?
Well, I think it depends on the woman, and I think in Sarah's case, she's a comedian, she's been a road comic. It's really hard to be successful and have children and be married and stay in relationships when you're on the road. So I think it really depends on the woman. And I think women need to stop putting themselves through this. If you want to have kids, if you want to be married, if you want to have a career, you can do it. You just have to balance it. Stop with this. It's crazy.
I agree. Lonnie, it's really all about balance. Like, I'm on the road, and I take my baby,
he
too.
goes everywhere.
He does. Like, he's Velcroed along with me and Vince. But to be honest, I used to be a married single person like Jeannie. And Vince and I used to talk about not having kids because we had so much to do, couldn't fit the kids into, the schedule or whatever. But the realization is you really don't know until you know. Right?
Yeah, right.
It's like until you
Right.
have a baby, you don't know how to, figure it all out. But I promise there's no manual, but something kicks in, like your instincts or something, and it just works out.
Like you make time for things that really matter to you.
Yeah. Or you give yourself a good nanny.
Yeah.
Adrian said it. You naturally figure it out. However, if I am real about the situation, I believe that we can have it all, but you do make some sacrifices.
For sure.
The biggest thing is sleep. As a working mom,
But when you hustle, you don't sleep no way though, right?
True, but when you're hustling, you're working, and you have 2 kids, what sleep? But I've gotten used to it. It's now like it's my new normal. I don't go to the movies as much as I would like, but the facts are, my children they're worth that sacrifice, and actually they're better than those sacrifices. I'd rather be with them. Yes. We had so much fun. The movies are watching my kids. Yes, I think they're hilarious.
And to each his own. Sarah obviously worded it in a way that matters to her, but for me, I think everybody can have it all, just like you said, Lonnie. But sometimes you don't want it all. I know I could have a full family. I know I could probably have the schedule you guys have. The kid comes with you and everything. But I don't want it all. What I have right now with me and Freddie and our life is really all I want. So it is all.
That's okay.
I think that is the perfect way to word it. It's pretty much you absolutely can have it all. It just depends on what all means to you.
And that's what I'm saying. But we don't put this on men. You never hear men say, "Men have it all." And it's like women only do this to themselves, and it's more like other women do it to other women.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
And then it makes us feel like, well, maybe I am missing something because maybe I'm not perfect because I'm not. You have to stop it, ladies. Stop it.
I gotta
yourself.
stop telling myself Beyonce has the same 24 hours in a day as you do. I just have to stop it.
Adrian, that is inspiration because at the end, don't you think since you had your kids, you had a different kind of fulfillment?
Oh, absolutely.
And a different level of it.
I'm not just working for myself.
Right.
I'm working for my children. I want to be that example for my son.
You can be that goal for your son
and for my daughter.
Yeah, man.
And me and Lonnie are working for that drink we're gonna have tomorrow night.
But guess what? We do that too.
That is true.
Mom can turn up,
But we don't have to run to the babysitter that's watching at home.
It's whatever you want for yourself.
I can honestly say I would not be here if I would have decided to have children early. I would not be here.
Why you say that?
Because I'm saying as a female comic, and that's what I'm saying, that's where Sarah was coming from. That's why I can really relate to what she's saying. Because as a female, that's why you can count how many comics you know that are female that have actually made it. You can count about 5. Maybe 10 of us. And I ain't really made it. You know what I'm saying? But it's close to 5, right? Yeah. And that's because it is so hard for female comics to make it. Because you have to, in order to play the game of stand-up comedy, you have to commit to the road.
Yes.
And if you commit to the road, as a female, it's harder when you're dealing with relationships and men. And then, a lot of my friends that I started comedy with, they're no longer doing comedy. And I really feel my female friend, stand-up comic, Tammy Pascatelli. She just DM'd me and she said, I'm struggling for my career. She went and she had a baby, you know, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to help her because me and her started at the same time. But because she started a family, you got to take 9 months off the road, all this other kind of stuff. So I think that's where Sarah is coming.
And if I I guess at like 8 months pregnant, you probably don't want to really be in a nightclub doing
So you can't be like me and be the Partridge Family.
Exactly.
And not to mention, if I may, sometimes the road of being a comic isn't always financially rewarding. And yet you know you got to pay those bills and you got to keep up with the child.
Stability. You want to give your children
needs and stability.
But I also want to emphasize it depends on the woman.
I was about to say, to sum it up, you just have to do what's right for you. And if you're happy, that's all that matters.
I agree. Well, here's a company, ladies, that is going to try to help you have it all, but at a price. So, Swan Love will help couples pay for their wedding. Up to $10,000, but there's a catch. If you take their money and end up getting a divorce, you got to pay the money back with interest. Think about that for a second, guys, because $10,000 is a lot to really financially put money.
Interest.
A wedding, though, but they give it to you, and you can have it, but you got to pay it back if you get a divorce.
If you ever get a divorce.
Yeah, ever get a divorce. So, Adrian, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I would absolutely, if I'm going to marry somebody, and you guys know this because I'm super honest and this is the real, if you even have the slightest doubt, you don't do it.
Exactly.
Of course. You just don't do it. It's true. And I've been there. So I can say, I stood here in front of all you guys, you know, something that could have been, which was embarrassing, if I'm going to be completely honest, because you feel like, but you just don't do it. So the day I do get married, yes, I could gamble on it.
You know what? I wish I could do this for all the weddings I've been to and all the toasters I've given. I want my toasters back, okay?
For real, though, man. Sometimes you go all out because you just like that person so much, or they're a close friend of you, and then that marriage ends, and you're like, where's my...
Well, what if that was actually a standard thing? That if you gave money to a couple, you gave a gift...
I think people would try to work it out.
Oh, yeah. It might be a motivating factor, and I think that's what this is about, this insurance.
Yeah.
To kind of motivate people to stay together.
I always ask,
it's gonna last, but I think they try.
I always ask with things like this, what is in it for them? Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds great. Oh, we're giving you all this free money. The interest, yes, but also
They don't think marriage is gonna last.
Exactly. They're banking on the fact that a lot of people get divorced. I think it's like 50% now, right?
Yeah.
One
So
out
they
of
have
two.
a 50% chance of
So
getting
why would
their
I
money
want to be
back
a part of that anyway?
You know what, though? I heard
Because marriage is hard, dog.
marriage
You
is
don't
so
know.
tough. Yep.
At the end of the day, can we just be 100% real fast? You can give me some money, right, for my wedding, and we get married, and then you really find out who that person is, because everybody changes after they get married. Don't
Very
everybody
true.
lie to you.
Doesn't
They
matter how long you've been with them,
okay?
too.
I don't want to be stuck with somebody I don't want to be with.
Absolutely.
That was my
You
point.
know,
I don't care if it's $1 million. If I don't want to be with you, I ain't going to
be
be with you.
We're really going to be like, oh, we're going to stay together because
We don't want to give them money back.
It's
not worth it.
Yes. It sounds that easy, but I do know a lot of marriages who they're not happy, but they stay together because they don't have the money that it costs to go
get a divorce. That's what I'm saying.
That's a very unhappy way to live.
But then some of them force themselves to work it out because now you're stuck together and they end up working it out.
And you're living a lie.
Yep, don't want to do that.
Living a lie.
Speaking of marriage, now that it's 2016, do you think it's still important to ask someone's parents for permission before proposing? I asked because I saw an article that suggested the practice might be outdated and even sexist.
What?
Yeah, Tamar.
Yeah.
What do you think of a potential mate asking parents for permission to marry?
I'm trying to figure out what sex is about that, you know, because for me it's all about respect, right?
True, that's
like you're
what
just
I
not going to
see.
invite yourself in my family. You got to ask my family, can you be a part of my family?
Your family has to accept.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, my mother might tell you no, but you still asked.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you was respectful, but at the end of the day, like ultimately the decision is up to me.
I think they're saying this because back in the day, this stems from like a tradition back in the day where women were property, yes, and they received a dowry. Whereas I believe like times change, we evolve. It's different now.
But
I'm not a property, no.
Right, but are you saying then that Adam didn't have to ask?
No, I love the fact that Adam asked my parents. I love
But
that.
he didn't ask, like, can I? It's more
Out
of
of
a
respect.
Could you please give me the blessing?
Let me tell you, nowadays, you women need to go and ask your man's parents if he okay. That's what you need to do.
Now you talking right.
Get permission. Is he okay? How is he when he go to sleep? Do he
Yeah.
snore a lot?
Man, oh
That's what
man.
you need to do.
Wait, have you guys ever dated a man where the mom was almost like,
Absolutely.
do not date my son?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moms
Yes.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
they will look at you like,
They'll
child,
tell you
what do
the truth.
want with
You
my
look deep
child?
into their eyes and give them a little brown liquor. If they don't drink brown liquor, give them some wine.
No, man.
Did
What do you
Freddie
think?
ask for your hand in marriage?
You talk about Mama Mai? She was already not down with the white boy trying to enter the Mai family at all. It was really hard. I was the first person to marry out of my race, and for my family, you just don't want to break the culture. Like, you
Yeah.
want somebody who doesn't speak Vietnamese and doesn't understand what we're saying.
Y'all
We're
be
talking
talking
about
about
your
when
head,
you
your
eat
back.
honey, y'all?
100%. That's so much fun. So much fun. But at the same time, it's like, he had to ask because it makes, when you marry the woman, you marry their family.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so that moment is a bond that's like, regardless of where I stand in the family, you got to make sure that you like my man and you guys are going to support one
Yeah.
another when
Yes.
I'm wrong. I want my family to call me out like they
Yes.
already do when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I love that they have that bond without me. You know?
Even women, I wonder what that conversation is like.
Oh, I know. I've always
Because
wanted to
from
know.
what I hear, Vince had a very long conversation with my family. They won't tell me.
Really?
No, they
Who
was
was there?
I think just my parents, but and I'm not sure.
You know what the conversation
What was-
was. If
oh
you
my
honest
God.
with yourself,
What's the
Tamar.
conversation?
What was
like?
it?
What's the conversation? Don't try me though.
What was it? Now I want to know.
What do you think? The man normally is like, he's gonna take care of you, he's gonna be good to you.
I want to know what she thinking though. I ain't letting you off the. What
What is it?
What?
It's Tamar. Everybody, come on, everybody. No,
I'm the
whole kids
catch.
had to go and go. Is she always gonna be saying?
Honey, I'm the catch. I don't know what you're talking about. I cook like queens, I sews, I
You
do
do all
things,
of
I
that.
do
You do
everything,
that.
honey.
Wonderful, but that mouth, though, man, that's just.
It's not the set me a phone.
Oh my God! I wonder. I have to say though, I
Don't
wonder
be
what.
doing.
I would like to know what our
No,
parents asked
legendary.
to make sure for us. You know,
All right.
like I know my mom would have said, like, you make sure Jeannie don't go poor, okay? She always have money. I know for sure that's what my mom wanted to make sure of it. I'm all right, mom. Yeah.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but stick around. We'll be right back with
I'm
more
gonna
Girl
stop.